Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're listening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to the No Mongo podcast. We're on episode number 8. Yeah, awesome. You know, I talk about all things skateboarding. Strongly advise you to not push Mongo. Trust me, you don't want to get caught up in that bad habit. You know, unless you're skating switch, you're a Swango pusher, or you're maybe under the age of 3. So, what's going on? My name is Rick Beta, Rickbata. You can follow at Twitter at Rick Beta, on Instagram as well. And if you want to email the show, nomongopodcast@gmail.com. I know email is getting kind of old school, but I have all of the options available to my listeners to contact me, get in touch with me, get in touch with the show. So let's get rolling. I'm feeling it today. My voice might sound a little different. I'm still dealing with sinus issues, but I'm not going to complain about that. I'm here to entertain and talk skateboarding, my passion, my love. So got a lot of good things that have been happening this past week, but I've been on kind of a personal, selfish kick as of late. But actually, Grant Britton, I've been looking at a lot of his work, famous photographer. He has so many iconic photos, that I want. Basically, I want on my wall. I need in my life. So, like I mentioned, this episode is going to be about me. What can I get? My needs, my wants. Now, I'm not getting too narcissistic on it. You don't worry. But, my goal, you can't see it yet, but eventually I want to have a legit studio, a legit hardcore no Mongo studio set up. Eventually I want to have, a ramp set up. I can talk about more of that later, but I was looking at Grant's website, and there's at least, 1 or 2 for sure that I want on my wall, maybe even up to 9. But just to have, right? They're so awesome. I wrote down 2 of my favorites I want to discuss. So my first one is Tony Hawk's Crossbone Lean Air. It's from the 80s. You've probably seen it if you don't remember it, but it's such a great photo because he extended it way above the board, and you can see down into the pool. Great photo, but it's an 18 by 24, and I wrote down the price too. It's for $300. So $300 on Grant's site. I need that. I want that. One day, I'm going to have that. So I'm getting that out to the universe. And of course, the other one, I couldn't decide. I'm like, what if I had $1,000 right now? What do I want to spend it on first? My other one is Christian Asoy's Christ Air. And that one is from the 80s as well. Christian Asoy, Christ Air, it's just it's a match made in heaven, right? That one is listed for $450 on his site. And that's a hell of a deal if you ask me. We're talking Grant Britton's iconic photos, and there's so many on. There's Matt Hensley, Nadas Kopis. My brain's not working right now, but just those 2, the Tony Hawk and the Christian Asoy's. If I could start with those 2, and what I envision, of course, eventually, maybe down the road, I'll have a video as well with this podcast, and I want to have those in the background. I want to represent Grant Britton's photos right behind me. That's, an ideal, of course, best case scenario. $750 for 2 photos, which are badass. But yeah, the Nadas one is cool because he's got the fire hydrant. He did a foot plant off of it, but way too many to choose from. Have you been admired his work or any? Do you own any? That'd be awesome if you do. Let me know which ones you do, or if you're buying me one, let me know which one in advance. I'm kidding, of course, but hey, no, in all seriousness, if you want to buy me, that's even better. But his website, jgrantbrittonphotos.com. I was looking at it earlier this week. So many good photos on there. He's been in the game for over 40 years. He's one of the best to do it. There are some others, Bryce Knights, Tobin Yellen. There's actually a rise. I think Jenkum, I'll have to double check too, but on the female side of things too, a lot of female photographers are coming up. So, that's a whole nother industry in itself. You think about it too. Photographers got to provide hard drives, the new updated equipment all the time. You have your SLRs, you have your digital side, you have your red cameras. Skaters, for the most part, you get sponsored, you get flow, you get free stuff, free gear. So it's tough to be, I'm sure it's tough to be a photographer. And maybe one day down the road, I'll get a photographer on here for an interview as well. But Yeah, I've just been admiring Grant's work for years. I mean, there were so many pictures growing up. I had no idea who Grant was, but you saw him in all the magazines. So now I just need to figure out how to come up with an extra $750. I'll make it happen. It'll happen. The No Mongo Studio. I mean, I don't have a timeline, but just in the near future, I plan on having some of his pictures up. Share with me if you guys got some. Let me know which ones you bought. What did you buy? Love his work. Good stuff indeed. Can't believe it's been another week. I know it flies by. I'm sure it flies by for you as well. Can't imagine if I was doing this multiple days a week. It'd be like the year would just blur. But as another topic I wanted to cover today, as I was flipping through Instagram, I follow Andy Mack on there, and he's got always some great footage. Excuse me. But I don't know. I had a thought because he rides those. It's at Woodward. They're the skate courses. They got basically you don't have to push. I guess you could call them a pump course. He's been riding those for a while, and of course, Andy's one of the most consistent riders out there. He's very well respected. So I mean, I'm trying not to belittle it, but I don't know how I feel about those skate courses. Maybe I have to ride them. I don't know. They look fun, but I don't know. Are they going to be around long term is what I'm thinking. I don't see any real, I know they've tried to do some competitions on them, maybe races and tricks and stuff like that, but I don't know. Maybe that'll backfire on me and it'll become one of the biggest things ever, but I don't know how I feel about them just yet. Maybe I do need to try one. I need to go find one and check it out. Be all like, this is the best thing ever. Come on the mic. Go, yes, go check them out. But have you ridden any of them? Have you checked them out? I mean, you can use all your skills, right? I mean, you can do tricks, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it yet. The whole course vibe, the pump tracks, they look fun. I mean, even Cab's kids, I know Hossoi's kids have been riding them. I've seen clips of them over there, but it hasn't really taken off yet. I don't really see it. Yet, of course. But pump tracks, are they fun? I mean, I'm trying to think right now how many riders I've seen besides Andy Mack, Hossoi, and Cab that have posted any clips on Instagram. I don't know. I guess it's, as skateboarding is, it's not, there's no rules, there's no set requirements. You can skate whatever you want. Yeah, I guess it's another avenue for people to show off their talents, but I just don't know. If I stumble across one, I'll check it out, but I'm probably not going to go out of my way, make a road trip or go anywhere to ride that, setup. Curious to see what you think. At Rick Beta, nomongopodcast@gmail.com. Are you a pump track aficionado? What am I not seeing? What am I missing here? Or maybe you agree and say, yeah, I'm just not feeling them either. So, but I do, the love-hate relationship with, the Olympics coming up, of course. I don't know why all of a sudden I can totally, down the road, I can definitely see pump tracks being very commercialized. So I do see that there's that. Maybe they're planting the seed down the road, and they take off, and I don't know. Who knows? Let me know what you think. And, of course, speaking of Instagram, Barracks posted something recently. John Kelly, he's a pro football player, plays for the Rams. I'm a Niners fan. Go Niners. That's fine. I'll support John. You're a rider, dude. But if you guys don't know, go to Barracks Instagram or even on Facebook. There's a cool clip. John Kelly can actually skate. He's been skating for a while now. So, yeah, it's cool to see there's a true, legit pro NFL player that can skate and not just, roll it around on a longboard or cruiser or something. He can legit do tricks. So pretty cool, man. I'll keep an eye on John. I'm following along on Instagram now as well. So that was pretty cool to see. So thanks, Barracks, for sharing that. But as I wrap up, this episode, I got one more pondering thing that I had of heart. I can't speak, of course, today. I've been pondering just kind of how I want to do the format. And I'm still tweaking that. So any feedback you guys have, let me know. I appreciate it so far. And, if you're digging the show, tell a friend. Spread the love, man. And, subscribe. It's good to get the word out there, spread to new listeners. It's the show. I mean, any radio show, podcast, whatever, it's not for everyone. That's fine. I totally get it. But hey, if you know someone that's into skating, I appreciate you spreading the love, spreading the word. So, of course, and thanks in advance for all the support. But this is a passion project, as I mentioned on the first episode, that I wish I could do every day. Just can't. The logistics, the timing of everything, I can't. So I'm doing it weekly, and I'm loving it. So thanks again for your support. But wrapping up the whole quote unquote me episode. I've had, lifelong goals. I told, well, even when she was my girlfriend, but my wife now, my lifetime goal is to have a half pipe in the backyard or even in the garage if I can squeeze one in. Just something where I can roll around. Something I can literally get out of bed, bedhead, go ride without even leaving my block. I'll even settle for a small quarter pipe, which it's probably more likely / realistic to happen right now, but the wife still needs a little convincing, but I'll work on that. Just, don't worry about that. Don't tell her. I even dragged my kids into it. So, hey, the kids are going to love it. Their friends are going to come play. They can run up and down on it, even if they don't get into skateboarding. It could serve as like a mini deck. You can put chairs on there. I'm really selling it, but it's going to happen. That's why I'm vocalizing it right now. And I don't need a big setup, right? I don't need anything like Shane O'Neill. Shane O'Neill has. Although his mini ramp, that's what I'm shooting for. I think it's like 2.5 feet high. I could probably, with my current backyard, stretch to 8 feet, probably not 12 feet. So that's what I'm shooting for. Not anything like Chris Borse has. Man, have you seen his setup? Danny Way's setup? Got to move to like Hawaii to get something like that. So that's down the road when I'm in my 50s and 60s. But I am guaranteeing eventually, I'm telling myself, you'll have a ramp one day. I had a quarter pipe back in the day in when I was in my early 20s, and that was the best thing ever. Just go back in the backyard, ride around. So I miss that, not having to worry about going to skate park all the time and stuff like that. But I was thinking, do you have a setup? What does your setup look like? Share it with me, share it with the listeners, and that'll help motivate me. So this is my idea I was thinking. So if you want to go, share it on Instagram, of course, the visual site, of course, that we all use. But if you want to use the hashtag #NoMongoSetup, tag me in your photo, brief description of maybe what you guys have, how much you spent, etc., etc. I want to see what you guys have. I mean, this is going to help inspire me to keep going with, cleaning out the garage, setting up the backyard, knowing the eye on the prize, of course, is a half pipe setup in the backyard. So let's do that. You guys know Mongo Setup, the hashtag on Instagram. Tag me as well. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, @RickBeta. Let's do this. I want to interact with you guys, see what you guys' setups looks like. Can't wait. And if you're listening to this even, a year or two from now, still use the hashtag. Let's just keep it going. So can't wait to see what you guys have. Appreciate the support every single week. I think that's all I got. There's plenty more I could talk about, but I like to keep it short and sweet. I'll talk to you guys next week.